Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Empaths. My name is Wanda Vitale, your host. Thanks for stopping by. Today I want to talk about doubt and this lack of trust. 15 or 20 years ago, if you would have asked me, do you know that you create your life? I wouldn't even have hesitated. I would have said, sure, I know that. I know I create my life. I get it. I know that I am spirit dreaming that I'm separate. Well, it was an intellectual understanding. And I think that's where so many people are. Intellectually, we might say that, yeah, I know that. But we really don't know until life does what it does and we get to test it. So in my case, I went through a very messy divorce. I had married my business partner and he's a narcissist. And so it was a very unsettling divorce. I came out of it with debt, lots of debt, 7 foreclosures. And that wasn't enough for me to get it, to understand, to really confront the fear. So then I was in an accident and couldn't walk. I had no money because I couldn't even sit up for months. I was delivered a diagnosis that said I might never be able to walk normally again. And I had no idea what I was going to do. So all that talk about me, about the certainty of me knowing that I create my life, out the window. I was absolutely terrified. I had no money, no family, really no one to say, hey, can you help me financially? I had no options. And I hit what Bob Proctor used to call the terror barrier. And some of my clients are going through this right now. So the terror barrier is when we have reached the limits of what our logical mind can handle. So in my own life, I couldn't walk. I had a full leg brace on. I had no money, no income. I'd been a manufacturer's rep and I couldn't do that. I couldn't travel. I couldn't even walk. And so what did my mind tell me? My mind started projecting. You're going to be out on the street. You're going to be a bag lady. You're too old. It's hopeless. What are you going to do? You're just, all that stuff. It's what our minds do. And then so I clearly didn't live as spirit. I clearly then didn't live as someone who understands the dynamics or the rules of how you create your life. And that's okay because that's where most people are. Most people have an intellectual understanding of how the universe works. But until we're really put to the test when things seem impossible, it's just talk. It's just an intellectual understanding. So today I want to talk about moving through that terror barrier. If any of you are going through it, as I said, it's coming up with a couple of clients. And for different reasons, one is going through a divorce. One is putting her life on the line for her, what she loves to do, for her business, to create impact in the world. She's just literally put it all on the line. Same thing for my client with the divorce. And so when it looks like things are going south, our logical mind kicks in and starts projecting. Our logical mind, conscious mind, it doesn't exist to make anything happen. It's like a scuba mask, right? It's the interface for this 3D reality that we live in, but it is completely unequipped to make anything happen. It knows what did happen. It knows what is happening now, and that's it. No one ever taught us that we also have a second mind. We have a higher mind, and the higher mind works in conjunction with the logical mind. They're like bookends. Logical mind says, this could be better, got a problem here, this isn't what I want. Energetically, what you do want goes to your higher mind, and your higher mind is like ordering at a restaurant. It says, I got it, I'm on it. So the higher mind goes about creating orchestrations, synchronicities for you, nudging you with ideas for action. The higher mind has access to everything, parallel versions of you, all time, all people. It has access to absolutely everything. And through your beliefs, can ping you with probabilities. Here's a thought. What about this? Do this. So this is more like big supercomputers walking around, getting probabilities from our higher mind, and then we take action. But as long as we are accustomed to letting the conscious mind be in control, we can't hear those nudges. We don't get those messages. So the terror barrier is really when we hit the place where it's time to really learn to let go of our death grip of control from the logical mind. Our logical mind is this ancient part of us that is accustomed to functioning to keep us safe so that we don't step in front of a bus or an oncoming car or a dinosaur. But that's all it does. But we've learned to trust the conscious mind to figure things out for us, and it's not equipped to do that. So when this terror comes up, we get to see what our beliefs are. This isn't going to work. I'm going to lose everything. What if it doesn't work out? What if? First of all, we're not even present when this is happening. We're projecting into the future. We are accessing something that happened in our past from our childhood. It could even be from another lifetime. But we're not present to now. And the higher mind needs us to be fully present in the moment. The moment, now and now and now, is when spirit and flesh meet with those impulses of, what about this? What about this? So when this terror barrier comes up, this is activating some old fear-based responses in you that have nothing to do with the now moment. But it's similar to something that happened when it felt like your life was on the line. I know when I went through it, I felt like I was going to die. It feels like death. And both clients that I talked with in the last couple of days, the terror is so strong, it feels like death. And it is it's the death of control of your conscious mind, which is a good thing. So what do? We have to feel the terror, the fear in our body. You put a finger on wherever it's most intense in your body, wherever that is, and you leave it there and you just feel the fear. And you just be with it. Like you take a crying baby out of, as one of my coaches says, it's like taking the baby that we've stuffed in the closet. We don't want to deal with it. We've got to take the baby out of the closet. So you just put your finger on wherever it feels most intense and just feel the fear without a story, without an outcome attached. It's just fear. I used to say, here's my old friend fear again. And I would just let it take over my body for as long as it needed to. It takes 90 seconds for an emotion to move through your body. And after that, you've got some space. You've got some space, some relief. And then you can say, and what am I choosing instead of this? What am I choosing to be aware of instead of this? And make a decision about what you want to create. I teach my clients to create an identity when we're wanting to create different circumstances in our lives. We don't go out in the messy middle and change circumstances. Circumstances change when we change, when we are being somebody else. So it starts with identity. So after you feel the terror that comes up, who are you being instead of this? How are you announcing reality? You might say, I'm happy. I have a flow of income. I'm successful. Who is this new identity? Say that. You're reprogramming your body and your subconscious when you out loud with this emotion say, no, this is who I am. I have infinite possibilities. Money falls into my lap. I announce reality. I get to have everything I want. What I say goes, because it does, because you're creating it all. So this is what we have to do. And then realize that this terror wall that comes up is here to set you free. It's here to finally open the door once and for all so that you are no longer relying on your rational, logical mind to figure anything out. And it's opening the door to your higher mind so that you can start to use it consistently. And that's when the magic happens. This must be coming up now for more people after this solstice energy, when there's just a different kind of light coming in, a different kind of energy. It is bringing up all these places where we still are holding doubt and fear. Most people who are consciously creating their lives don't experience results because they're not expecting it, because they're letting this doubt or fear hold them back. They're not assuming that what they want is unfolding. They're hanging out in this state of being of, well, what if? What if it doesn't work out? And they don't take action. We've got to take action. It's inspired action. It's actually enchanted action. When you know that what you want is already done energetically, and the only thing that's missing is you, we don't have to make anything happen. We take action that's inspired. I always ask, what would love do? It's why I do these videos. But so many people hold themselves back because of this doubt and fear. And if you're going through it now, I would love for you to look at it as an invitation to expand into more of who you are, into the real you, because the real you is spirit. You're 100% spirit, dreaming that you're not spirit. Everything in your life is you, just like in a dream. Everyone is a reflection of some version of you. And we are literally making it all up, and we can make up anything. Life becomes very dreamlike when we realize that there's a different energy behind what we're seeing out there. When we realize that nothing has any meaning other than the one that we give it, then we start to be very selective about what we give meaning to, what we engage with. And because what we engage with, what we give meaning to, creates form in our lives. This is really becoming an empowered empath and using our gifts of intuition. We're just naturally wired to be able to hear the higher self, but we have got to move beyond the fear because that's all made up. It's the logical mind, the rational mind, trying to keep control of something that it absolutely can't control. And we've got to let the fear move in our bodies. I don't like to call this mindset stuff because it isn't really mindset. It's mind, body, and spirit. We can say affirmations, we can believe whatever we want to believe or say we believe, but until our body believes it, nothing changes. Nothing changes. So if you are experiencing the terror barrier right now or a whole lot of fear, I celebrate you because you're ready to uplevel your life. And it's a good thing because you're all that is. Choosing what to experience with your awareness. You're all that is. Playing, here playing. Life can feel like play. Things can just show up. Logic ceases to apply when we create different rules for our lives. So thanks for listening. Let me know if this hits home and if you're going through that terror barrier. I would call it an initiation. Thanks for listening. And if you haven't hit subscribe, do that.